Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be continuing reading the entire Bible. And if you remember, Pharaoh finally let Moses and the Hebrews go. So, now they got all their cattle and, all the stuff that they could pack. And now they are, on their way out of Egypt. So, this is the page we're going to be starting on. This is called 20,000 Egyptians Under the Sea. All right. This is based on Exodus chapter 13, verse 17, all the way through chapter 15 of verse 21. So, the next day, the great Exodus from Egypt is underway. Joyfully, the Hebrews march toward the land God promised would be their home. During the day, a bright cloud guides them. The promised land, as many people know this. And at night, a pillar of fire leads them. So, the promised land is the great, land that God had promised them to go and live. And he leads them. He's the one who knows where this would be at. So, during the day, God will lead them with this cloud here. And at nighttime, as they travel, he leads them with this fire so they know where to go. But in their rush for freedom, they do not forget to take with them the body of their ancestors, Joseph. He was a great man in Egypt, but he wanted to be buried in his own land. Oh, so yeah, they take the great Joseph's body, probably in a casket or so. That's kind of what this picture down here represents, so he could be buried in his own land instead of in Egypt. After several days of travel, the Hebrews reached the Red Sea. The sea is in front of us and the mountains all around. What will we do now? What was Moses thinking? So now they've reached this great area called the Red Sea. So there are mountains all around it. So, nowhere and then the Great Sea, of course, from, there's nowhere for them to go. How would they get through? Is what they think. But meanwhile, back in Pharaoh's palace, it was a mistake to let those Hebrew slaves go. Who will do our work for us now? It isn't too late. Look, they're wandering around like lost sheep. The route they took will lead them into this trap, which would be the Red Sea. So much for their brilliant and powerful God. Muster every chariot and army. Those slaves will soon be back at work, making more bricks than ever. And Pharaoh's army soon approaches the camp of the Hebrews, which they're camped right at that river. Look, here comes the Egyptian army. We can't escape now. And now they start yelling at Moses, "It's your fault, Moses. We're trapped. Were the graves in Egypt not good enough? You had to bring us to the desert to die?" Pharaoh and his army look at the Hebrews camped beside the Red Sea. Trapped, just as I said. Good. They'll soon see who's mightier, Pharaoh or the God they worship. At the same time, in the Hebrew camp, still, yelling and arguing with Moses. "I'd rather be an Egyptian slave than die this way. Don't be afraid," as Moses yells out to him. "After today, you will never see those Egyptians again. The Lord will fight on our behalf. Just be still and see what God is going to do." As Moses speaks, the cloud that leads them moves to the back of the camp. "Look, the cloud is hiding us from the Egyptians." Then Moses holds out his staff toward the Red Sea, as God told him to do. A strong east wind blows all night and rolls back the waters of the sea. Awed by the sight, the Hebrews rush joyfully across the path in the sea. So, as the great story goes, Moses splits God splits the sea and makes a clear walkway just for them. I mean, this must have been incredible to see both of the waters on both sides, but not crashing in on you without a wall holding them back. It's not until the next morning that the cloud clears from in front of the Egyptians. When Pharaoh sees that the Hebrews are getting away, he orders his army to charge after them. The Egyptians race out across the sea floor, but sand clogs their chariots' wheels. Then Moses puts out his hand again, and suddenly the wind dies and the waters roll back into place. All Pharaoh's men are caught in the rushing sea, as you can see right here. So they run out there, and their wheels are getting clogged up by the sand, and then all of a sudden, in this would have been, as far as from their stand, would have been incredibly terrifying. It's one thing when you're in the water, but when it comes crashing together, it's going to clap together, and it's just going to, waves are going to, it's going to be extremely brutal the way it just comes together and just mixes back, and, it's going to be a lot of crashing waves, and, so, especially them being all the way at the bottom, so, but, safe on the other side, the Hebrews look back. God has saved us. I'll never doubt again that God sent Moses to save us from the Egyptians. Joyfully, the Hebrews celebrate God's deliverance. The tribes descendant from Jacob, or Israel, are a free people, ready to form a new nation. Miriam, Moses' sister, leads the women choirs singing praises to God. The Lord is my strength and song. He is my salvation. Sing to the Lord as, they shout. So, God, and now they have seen that, Moses was sent by God, to do this. That was something that you don't just go out there and do, you don't just go out there and split a sea, but by faith, he did not doubt God one bit. He's not, oh, God, look what you've done. He was not complaining to him. He's like, we're never going to get out of here. God's not going to be able to do nothing to get us out of here. He never said that. He didn't doubt God. He had faith in him. He trusted him. And he believed that he was going to get him out of that situation. And in that, God definitely did. And he split that water and delivered them from their enemy. And, destroyed the enemy, in that same, situation with using the waters. So, and now they will never see them again. But we'll see where this leads them into traveling from a short time to the Promised Land to traveling for much longer than what they should have. And we'll explain that tomorrow. So I'll catch you guys tomorrow. So let's take it easy and peace out.